Stokes Gramling with Phase 2 of ZipForms.
Now, we will go over and look at a couple of other things that we have here. The transaction information is another way to fill out the information, something akin to the cover sheet, where you have the actual information in a linear format. You can go through and do this for the related areas. To jump back, I realize I have not covered the contract. Go in and double click on the contract and it comes here to be available for you. At this point, you would go in and fill out as much information as you can about your client. As you work through here, you will notice that there is a question mark right here in this icon. Click on that and that will show you what this is and what you should do with that information. It's fairly obvious here, but in other areas maybe not. Enter the buyer state, pick from the drop-down list. The history list file name is state.dat. Well, what does that mean? That means that as you go through and begin filling out these cover sheets, the information that you enter into these fields is saved for you. Hence, when you go in and you look at something like the state here, you hit the drop-down and you see that the state would be the states that you have filled out beforehand. Now, the good thing about this is it saves you having to retype it. 2 letters for SC is not that big of a deal, but if you were typing in something like the Charleston County, that would be a little bit larger. These are not tips that will save you enormous amounts of time, but there are things that will save you time in increments. Now, you notice here, okay, well, if you've made a mistake in spelling, you can correct that. It's very annoying when you select a choice from a drop-down and then realize that it was the one time that you misspelled the word and now you have to go back and correct it. There is a way to correct that and we'll get to it momentarily. The good thing about this is that once you go through and fill out this information, any forms that you have chosen or choose to add to this transaction will automatically fill in the fields based on the information that you have here. So, let's move back to Buyer 1. The name that you have set up here will appear in the Buyer 1 field for any of the contracts that you choose. Whether you have chosen them or you add them in the future to this transaction, it will fill it in automatically for you and save you a great deal of time from that standpoint. Now, we can move on. We've talked a little bit about the toolbars here. Talked about the transaction information is very similar to the cover sheet, one or the other. We can set up, you can save the information, you can save it as a PDF. You can also print the forms out. Now when you print them, you can print the current forms, all forms, or print blank forms. Should you be of the old school and want to fill this out manually, you can print the blank forms and have them available and ready for you. You can also fill out sample forms. The sample forms will have a sample written across them, much like the duplicate or the watermark that you see with some things that are copies of the original and not the original. You would see that with the sample form. But this does allow you to create blank forms if you want to take the forms with you and fill them out on site. Email. This is a very nice utility. When you click on the email icon right here, it brings this up, allows you to choose the forms that you need to, that you would like to send to this person. Again, the main checkbox here will check them all, and then you can go through and uncheck the ones you don't want to do. Otherwise, you can do it the reverse and go through it, check the ones that you do want to send. You can, once you get these set up, you can go up here and type in the address. Now, the thing about the address is it's something that you would be doing time and again, also dealing with your clients. Over here is an icon that select email from address book. Let's see what that says. Okay, that brings up an address book. Basically, the address book is your contacts. I've got these that I've already added in here. And based on the category, I have them all. I can set up different categories for the contracts. I can go in and open the address book, and the address book is another window. You can go in and search. You can create copies. You can add to the address book with something along the lines of the classic information for your client. You can also import or export. The value of this is that if you have a spreadsheet for your clients, you can import that spreadsheet into your ZipForms and have that information, email address, phone number, home address, etc., available. On the same lines, you can export that information as well out and use it for something like a mail out with Billy Joe with the marketing. So this allows you in and out capabilities, which some of the systems do not allow. They figure once they've got you in there, they make it easy to get your information in, but you never get your contacts back. You can always go through and copy them manually, but this system allows you to export them, which greatly simplifies things. So what we're going to do is choose from this, and yeah, okay, that's the one. Notice I'm sending it to Stokes at AgentOwned Realty. I can type in some information in here, something like to ask them to please sign it, specific instructions. You can include the sticky notes if you wish, but the sticky notes will not print out on there. Now, that is the ability here. The nice thing about the emailing is that when you send it, click send here, it is independent of the computer that you're actually working on. It will send it through the ZipForms system. That means that it does not use the email on this computer. The advantage to that is if you're working at somebody else's computer, if you're working at one of the virtual computers in your office, it does not matter how the email is set up on that particular computer. Hitting send here goes around that. The problem is that the old systems that would use the email on a computer would mean that the replies to that computer, the replies to that email would come back to that computer. Also, if there was Outlook or Outlook Express on the computer, when you send it, it would not send until you actually physically opened the Outlook or Outlook Express program. And working on maintenance on the computers and checking the programs, I've opened up Outlook only to find that there were things in the outbox that people thought they had sent from weeks or months ago, and they had not been sent. What's even worse, or at least as bad, is the fact that some of the people that received them replied to it, but instead of coming back to the person that sent it, it comes back to that physical computer's email system. Therefore, I would open it up and see that someone replied to that agent's email, only not to have them ever receive the reply. So this is a very good, very nice system to work to send out the email. Boom. Okay, let's ignore all. And is it going? Going, gone. Email was sent. Now let's look at something else here. This is the fax. You know that you have, as an agent owner, your own eFax number. What this does is allow you to fax out to your client. More and more people are getting away from faxes, but that doesn't mean that you won't have clients that use them and use them exclusively sometimes. So this allows you to fax out the information that you've got set up here, so that you would fax it out by entering the fax number here, and then comments, and send me a delivery confirmation as well. So that would be sent to your email address. Now we're going to go boom and send this out. Now again, you notice the little icon over here. You can pull this number if you have it for your client in their address book. You could pull it from your clients over here, depending upon how much information you've entered. We will send this out. Okay, add to dictionary. Yes. And it's sending. This goes out through the ZipForm system as the email. So it's is not dependent upon where you are, whether you're working with a computer that has a phone line or fax setup or not. It is completely independent of that and works purely through the ZipForms system. Another nice little feature that I see that they have available for us. Now, as I say, there are a number of things available here that we've looked at. Edit will bring up a couple things to check on here. One is fast fill. When you switch to fast fill, it gives you just the blanks. You have the blanks and only the blanks. Now you can switch back to the form view. If you're looking at the cover sheet, well, that's good. It doesn't really matter as much. If you're looking at an agreement to buy and sell, then when you switch to it, it cuts out the verbiage and gets right to the meat of it. If you're starting out, you probably want to keep the information here available so you have a good perspective. However, as you gain experience, you may want to start switching to the fast fill view and just go boom, boom, boom right through here. And notice again, we've got the question mark about what it is, and you've got the ability to pull in from the previous information that's here. Now, where does this information, what if I've misspelled something here? Well, what we can do is go over here to where it says lookup fields, and you can go in here and find the code word for that field. When you find the code word, it will allow you to go in and correct the information that you have. And maybe we want to be a little more detailed and do something akin to this, Mount Pleasant. And now from that point forward, whenever you would pull up that field, it would have Mount Pleasant and the full version of the word Mount Pleasant available as well, which would allow you to clean it up there. The menu help, it's a very, very good way to find out the details about what I have not covered here, or to find out more information, or if you've touched on it and you want to learn a little bit more because you don't quite remember how things were set up. You go into the menu help, and this is on the handout, the paper handout that was available. And let me bring this over for you. And this is what you have. You will notice that this is a list of different topics. Each topic is like the icon legend, has numerous things that are available that it explains in detail. Creating and using transaction. Notice here that it has a very good color diagram of exactly what you see. They have done a screen capture of the icons that will show up for you, so that they can kind of walk you through what you do, where you click, and the different details. This does not cover our agent-owned library, but the application is the same. And some of them actually have a video as well that they will have with it. So this is a very good feature, a way to find out the more details. There are too many topics to cover in here for me to cover at this point in time, but it is a good tool and a good resource for you. Speaking of tools, we can move to the tools here, and you'll see a mortgage calculator. Now, the mortgage calculator will come up. You can see here that the 35.9% interest that you've set, you can beat that deal with you if you check with our FM lending officers. In here, you can put in a loan amount, figure out what the interest is, how long do you want it, and then go in and calculate. And it will tell you what your monthly payments are based on a loan for $200,000 for 360 months at 35.9% interest. Maybe you might want to see if you can get this at a better rate. Let's try this and see how this changes. Now that's much better, don't you think, with the interest rate that's available for you. You can clear and start over again. By filling out any three of these, as you note here, it will calculate the fourth for you, as well as provide a calculator to help out as well. the options that are available are here. You will notice that you can go through, you can have a template data, confirm, form, remove, auto open cover sheet. Here you have the different field colors and you have the default interest. So you can change this to the 3.49 or whatever the interest rate that you would like. Now, you can go to the e-sign, and with the e-sign, this is the ability to create a form, send it to a client. Usually you wouldn't do this across town, but you would do it across country if it were someone in Chicago or California, someone that was looking at property and wasn't able to come back to view it, and they said, well, write it up and send it to me. I'll have to catch my plane. You could send it like this. They could receive it in the airport and actually fill it out on their iPad and send it back to you. There are two types of electronic signatures. One is the DocuSign system. The other is the ZipLogic digital ink. DocuSign is a system that allows you to create the document, lock it with a security code, send it to your client. They unlock it with the security code that you have given them verbally. They choose a font, sign it, lock it back, and send it to you, and you unlock it. The digital ink system by Signex, which is part of the ZipLogic system, is the system that is provided for you with the SCAR, and you have a number of credits, each credit allowing you to create a transaction and send it for a signature. Now, one of the things about this is that you have a certain number of credits, and when those credits run out, as you see mine have here, you can go in and add extra credits. By filling out the information about your NRDS number, they will see whether or not you can get special pricing for that. Typically, the pricing is based on the actual contract sent out for the ZipLogic or the number of pages for DocuSign. My recommendation is to stay with the ZipLogic, since that is what you would be working with the 6 free credits. It's my understanding that you do get 6 free credits per month, not per year. And those do not roll over, but they do restart each month. So you will have 6 months at the beginning, 6 credits at the beginning of each month available to you. Now let's say OK. And now to move into this, this is the access for the address book. We'll touch on that briefly. We mentioned about getting there through the other system. This is the way that you can get to it, through the Tools tab, Address Book, right here, and that covers you. Now, let's go up here and see what we want to do with this. This is the active transaction that I have, ZipForm transaction, e-sign. Let's go through, and we're going to do an e-sign. Right now it takes me in and asks me to create an order, to order now, so I have more. We will go back. At this point, check signatures, edit name, open in ZipForm. We're going to check the signatures. Send selected. So what we're going to do is addendum A is what we're going to send. And here we go. Now, this will give you a better description of what we have that you can print out. This, as you will recognize, is in the PDF format. To lock it, you can actually set it here. So go by pages. You can work with the ZipForm, and you can have a way to search and find what is needed or required. Minimize that and go through here. Buzzwords, share your screens. These are the Adobe commands themselves. Let's do the send with this. We go through and have it set. Let's see if I come back here. do the one of the difficulties, as you may have noticed, is that without credits, I can't really follow through with this as well as I would like to. And in fact, I can't follow through with it at all. Counteroffer, send, and we're going redundant. Jane D. Doe, I'm a seller. This is filled out, and as we work through this, we have the information available. Okay. Bad. And we seem to be in a loop here.